The last audition. Morgan Freeman is sitting in his car outside the audition building. He's 40 years old, broke, exhausted. This is my last try, he tells himself. He almost doesn't go in. But he does. He says 6 words. The casting director stops breathing. These weren't just 6 words. These were 20 years of struggle, compressed into 6 words. That's why they gave him the Oscar. Los Angeles, 1987, March, afternoon, 3 p.m. The sun is hot, but Morgan Freeman's car has no AC. 1978 Chevrolet. Paint faded. Engine sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. He's sitting in the front seat, behind the wheel, script in hand, but he's not reading, just holding, just staring. The building across the street, casting office. Small sign reads, Driving Miss Daisy. Small production, independent film. Budget isn't high, but that doesn't matter to Morgan, because this is his last chance. 40 years old, 20 years in acting, 20 years of small roles, supporting roles in theater productions, chorus on Broadway. Never a lead role. They never say a Morgan Freeman film. They always say Morgan Freeman is also in the film. Also, always also, never the lead. And now he's 40. In Hollywood, 40 isn't young. 40 is too late. Casting directors are looking for young actors, 25, 30 years old. Fresh faces, new names. At 40, you become a character actor. Father roles, uncle roles, background. At 40, they say you can't be a lead anymore. Morgan knows this. That's why 5 months ago he made a decision. 1 more year. Just 1 year. If nothing happens this year, he'll quit. He'll go back to New York. Maybe become a teacher. Maybe a different profession. But acting will be over. Because he can't do it anymore. Financially can't. Emotionally can't. Physically can't. Broke. Word for word. Broke. Sometimes can't pay rent. Delays electric bills. Can't grocery shop the way he wants. 40-year-old man doing budget math at the grocery store. Buying cheap brands. Looking for sales. Cutting coupons from newspapers. This wasn't the life he dreamed of. At 20, he had dreams. He'd take the stage. People would give standing ovations. His name in lights on the marquee. He'd be in movies. Directors would call him. Morgan, I wrote a script, I wrote it for you, they'd say. But it didn't happen. 20 years passed, never happened. And now he's sitting in a car, for the Driving Miss Daisy audition. Script in hand, read it at home, 50 times. The role, Hoke Colburn. Elderly white woman's chauffeur. Character role, but a beautiful character. Deep, human, not just a stereotype, a real person. When Morgan read it, he understood. I can play this role. I know this character. This man is me. But then he thought, how many others are thinking the same thing? How many actors will audition? 50? 100? All younger, all fresher, all hungrier. And the casting director will think, Morgan Freeman who? 40 years old, saw him on TV, I think. But never did anything big. Why would I give him the role? Morgan isn't getting out of the car. Just sitting. 3:15. Audition appointment at 3:30. 15 minutes left. But Morgan isn't going. He's thinking. If I go, what will happen? They'll reject me again. Again they'll say, thank you, we'll call you. Again they won't call. Again another hope will die. But if I don't go, what will happen? Nothing. Nothing will happen. But at least I won't have been rejected. At least one more hope will live. Maybe. One more day. Sitting behind the wheel. Hands shaking. Doesn't know why they're shaking. Fear? Exhaustion? Hunger? Didn't eat lunch. Had no money. Thinking. 20 years. 20 years I fought for small roles. 20 years I said maybe this time. 20 years I hoped. And now I'm 40. I have nothing. I'm broke. I have no future plan. Maybe it's time to quit. Maybe this is a sign. Maybe the universe is saying, Morgan, you're not built for this. You're not talented enough. You're not lucky enough. Stop now. But then he thinks, but if I don't go, I'll never know. If I don't go, when I'm 50, I'll think, what if I had gone? What if that role was mine and I didn't go? That thought will kill me. 3:25. 5 minutes left. Morgan takes a deep breath, closes his eyes, thinks about his mother. His mother died 5 years ago. Her last words, Morgan, you're special. You're going to make it. I know it. Just don't give up. Morgan opens his eyes, gets out of the car, slowly, legs heavy, takes a step toward the building. Each step requires effort. His body is resisting. His brain is saying go back to the car. But his feet are walking. Inside. The building is old. Stairs creak. Walls beige, old, paint peeling. Typical casting office. 3rd floor. No elevator. Morgan climbs the stairs, out of breath. Just 3 floors, but he's tired. So tired. 3rd floor hallway. Doors. Each door a different casting agency. Finally sees it. Driving Miss Daisy auditions. Room 304. Stands in front of the door. Reaches out his hand, raises his arm, about to knock. But stops. Hand in the air, trembling. Voices from inside. Someone talking. Thank you, we'll call you. Door opens. Another actor exits. Young, 30s, handsome. Exiting with a smile. That went great, he tells the assistant. Confident, energetic. Morgan looks at him. Thinks he was very good, he'll get the role. Why am I here? Assistant sees Morgan. Are you Morgan Freeman? Yes. Great, right on time. Come on in. Morgan enters. Small room. Table. 3 people sitting. Casting director, woman, 40s, glasses, serious. Director, man, 50s, gray hair, kind-looking. Producer, man, 60s, suit, looks impatient. Casting director smiles. Morgan, hello, thanks for coming. I'm Linda. This is Bruce, the director. This is Harold, the producer. Morgan nods. Hello. I saw your resume. Very experienced. 20 years. Good. You're here for Hoke? Yes. Great. How do you understand the character?
Normally he'd be ready for this question, rehearsed at home.
But now his mind is blank. Words won't come. Just exhaustion. Hoke, starts but stops. Linda waits. Bruce waits. Harold gets impatient, checks his watch. Morgan starts again. Hoke is a man who served someone else's life. But serving isn't degradation. Hoke is a dignified man. Hoke stops. Because suddenly he understands. Hoke is him. Hoke is Morgan. 20 years he served others. Small roles, supporting roles, never center. But he never lost his dignity. Never. Linda sees the change in Morgan's face. Continue, she says softly. Morgan speaks, but now he's not speaking from the script. He's speaking from his heart. Hoke lived 60 years. 60 years of being treated small. White people called him boy. But he was never a boy. He was always a man. Inside himself. Hoke might look small on the outside, but inside he's a giant. And Miss Daisy eventually sees this. She sees that Hoke isn't just a driver. Hoke is a friend. Hoke is the most dignified man she's ever seen. Silence. Linda, Bruce, Harold, staring at Morgan. Nobody speaking. Morgan continues. Now he can't stop. Everything accumulated over 20 years is coming out. And Hoke never got angry, never yelled, never said, I don't deserve this treatment. Because Hoke is a big man. Big men live quietly. Big men wait patiently. Big men know their worth isn't dependent on others' opinions. Morgan's voice breaks, eyes wet, because he's not talking about Hoke anymore. He's talking about himself. And I understand Hoke, because I waited too. I stayed silent too. I served too. 20 years, and people didn't call me boy, but called me insignificant. They said no talent. They said too old. But I'm still here, still standing, still believing. Stops, breathes. Then says his final sentence. 6 words, just 6 words. I am Hoke, and I am ready. Silence. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. 15 seconds. Morgan waits. Linda, frozen. Bruce, leaning forward, mouth open. Harold dropped his notepad. Morgan understands. It was terrible. Too emotional. Too personal. That wasn't professional. Thank you, Morgan says. I took your time. Turns, walks toward the door. Linda can't speak. Bruce can't move. Harold paralyzed. Morgan reaches the door, puts his hand on it, about to open. Linda finally speaks, but her voice is a whisper. Wait. Morgan stops. Doesn't turn. Just stops. Linda stands up, slowly, from her chair, from behind the table, walks toward Morgan, comes to Morgan's side, stops. Turn around, she says. Morgan turns. Linda's face is wet, crying. Tears. I've been a casting director for 20 years, Linda says. I've watched thousands of auditions, thousands of actors. Some good, some great. But you. Stops. Breathes. You weren't just good. You were Hoke. In those 6 words, you showed 60 years of life. I saw Hoke. Not just the actor, the character. Bruce stands up, comes over. Linda's right. Those 6 words, I've never seen anything like that in my life. When you walked in, I thought another 40-year-old actor, too late. But now I understand. You're not late. You're exactly on time. Because Hoke is 60. Hoke has lived 60 years. You've lived 40 years. And those 40 years were in your voice, in your face, in your eyes. Harold stands up, slowly, comes over, stops in front of Morgan, extends his hand. The role is yours, he says. I'll prepare the contract. We'll sign tomorrow. Morgan freezes. What? The role is yours, Harold repeats. Don't bring us another actor. Morgan, Hoke, Hoke, Morgan. Same person. Morgan returns to his car. Same car. Same parking spot. But everything is different. Sits down, holds the steering wheel. Hands still shaking. But now it's a different trembling. Not fear, shock. The role is mine, he says out loud. The role is mine. Starts crying. 40-year-old man, in a car, alone, crying. 20 years of weight pouring out. 20 years of you're not enough. 20 years of you're too late. All of it pouring out. Cries for 10 minutes, then stops. Looks in the mirror. Eyes red, face wet, but smiling. First real smile in a long time. Starts the car. Engine won't start. Tries again, still won't start. Third time, starts. Of course you'd start, Morgan tells the car. Today, everything changed. Drives home. Small apartment. 1 room. Kitchen in the corner. Bed in the corner. Everything in 1 room. But now it doesn't matter, because he got the role. Calls his agent. Mary, it's Morgan. I got the role. Mary hesitates. Which role? Driving Miss Daisy, Hoke. Mary screams. Really? Morgan, this is amazing. This is your breakthrough. I don't know, Morgan says. Small film, independent. Maybe nobody will see it. Doesn't matter, Mary says. This is the beginning. This is your time. 6 months later, filming done, film completed, released. Small release, few theaters, low expectations. People love it. Critics love it. They write Morgan Freeman's performance is incredible. They say the role of Hoke seems written for him. Film spreads, more theaters, more screenings. People telling friends, you have to see this film. Morgan Freeman is magnificent. Oscar season comes, 1990. Driving Miss Daisy nominated. Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Morgan Freeman. Morgan can't believe it. I'm an Oscar nominee, he says. Me at 40, after 20 years, nominated. Oscar night. Morgan puts on a suit. Borrowed suit. Still doesn't have money for a new suit. But doesn't matter. He's at the Oscars. His name announced among nominees. Face appears on screen. Crowd applauds. Morgan smiles. But tense. Because doesn't know if he'll win. Envelope opens. And Best Supporting Actor goes to Denzel Washington, for Glory. Morgan applauds. Denzel won. Morgan lost. Because for Morgan, just being nominated was like a dream. But something happens after that night. Hollywood now knows Morgan Freeman. Casting directors calling. Morgan, have a script. Want to send it to you? Driving Miss Daisy wins Best Picture Oscar. Even though Morgan didn't win, the film's success is his success. The Shawshank Redemption. Morgan as Red. 2nd Oscar nomination. 3rd nomination. $1 Million Baby. 4th nomination. And then he wins. At 52. Best Supporting Actor. Oscar. Picks it up. Walks on stage. Speaks. This journey took a long time, he says. 32 years. 32 years of waiting. 32 years of small roles. 32 years of maybe one day. And then one day came. That day came in 1987. I was at an audition. My last audition, I thought. I was ready to quit. But I said 6 words. Just 6 words. I am Hoke, and I am ready. Those 6 words brought me all the way here. Then looks at the camera. If you're 40 and thinking too late, let me tell you something. It's not late. It's never late. I started at 40. You can start too. Or continue. Just don't give up. Because the next audition, the next opportunity, the next 6 words can change everything. You're 40 years old. Maybe you're thinking it's too late for your dreams. Maybe you're thinking opportunities are for young people. Maybe you're thinking, my time has passed. Morgan Freeman thought the same thing. Sitting in that car, in front of the audition building, he thought too late. But he went inside. He almost didn't. 99% he wasn't going to. But 1% hope pushed him inside. And that 1% changed everything. Because at that audition, in those 6 words, Morgan showed 20 years of pain, 20 years of struggle, 20 years of waiting. And the casting director saw it. She didn't just see an actor. She saw a human, a real human. Young actors can say 6 words, but they can't show 20 years of pain, because they haven't lived it. Morgan lived it. And that pain, that experience, those 20 years, they were Morgan's strength. Not his weakness. His strength. Hollywood tells you after 30 it's late. The world tells you after 40 it's impossible. But Morgan Freeman says, I won an Oscar at 52. I started at 40. What about you? When is your last audition? What are your 6 words? When will your I am ready moment come? Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe a year from now. But it definitely won't come if you sit in the car seat and don't go inside. Morgan almost didn't go in, almost drove home, almost quit. But he didn't. And that decision, that one step, those 6 words, turned into a 32-year career. Turned into an Oscar. Turned into legend. He's 86 now. Morgan Freeman. They call him the voice of God in movies. But that God wasn't born. That God at 40 sitting in a car, almost giving up, but then taking that one step, was created. You're about to give up. Because everyone does sometimes. But let me tell you something. Your Morgan Freeman moment hasn't come yet. But it will come. You just need to get out of the car. You just need to walk to that building. You just need to say those 6 words. I am ready. Are you ready? Because the world is waiting. The Oscar is waiting. The legend is waiting. Only you are missing. At 40, at 50, at 60, doesn't matter. Age is just a number. But readiness is in the soul. Morgan was ready. He prepared by waiting 20 years. You're ready too. You just don't know it yet. Go inside. Knock on that door. Say those 6 words. Because your Oscar is waiting.